More than 40 years ago, I began a career leading international tours. Today, I still enjoy working in travel and tourism. One destination I'll never forget was the Soviet Union during the Cold War. When people hear that I led tours in the Soviet Union, they usually have lots of questions. What was it really like? How were the people? What did you see? At that time, American tour operators worked through the Soviet government, which handled international tourism. As tour directors, we worked within that system throughout our tours. This is one of the national guides I had the pleasure of working with. We were exactly the same age, and during the tour, we occasionally had the opportunity to compare our lives and experiences. She was very proud of her country, just as I was proud of mine. Our conversation stayed away from politics. Leningrad, now known as St. Petersburg, immediately captured my heart with its beautiful architecture, grand palaces, canals, and incredible history. The city was beginning to restore the beauty of its historic churches and buildings. Moscow left a very different impression. Walking through Red Square, with St. Basil's Cathedral at one end and the Kremlin, the center of Soviet government and Communist Party power, stretching along the square, gave the city a feeling unlike anywhere I'd visited in Western Europe. What surprised me most was seeing so many beautiful churches within the Kremlin walls. The contrast between Russia's rich history and the Soviet government fascinated me. But as interesting as the cities were, what I remember most are the glimpses of everyday life and the people we met along the way. One visit, in particular, has stayed with me all these years. This wasn't a tourist attraction. We were there because many of the nurses in my tour group were earning continuing education credits in geriatric care, and this visit was part of their program. As we walked inside, the building felt dark and worn. The furniture was old, and several elderly women sat quietly together along one side of the room. They all wore long, dark skirts with babushkas covering their heads. They watched us silently as we entered. For a few moments, no one spoke. Then something wonderful happened. Music began to play. The women stood together and began performing a traditional dance. Their faces lit up with smiles, and suddenly the room felt completely different. It wasn't about politics anymore. It was simply people sharing a part of their culture with visitors from another country. That moment has stayed with me ever since. It reminded me that no matter where we travel, people have far more in common than the headlines would have us believe. I've often thought about those women over the years and wondered what their lives had been like. Travel has taught me many lessons, but one of the greatest is this. Behind every government, every border, and every headline are ordinary people with hopes, traditions, and stories of their own. This was just one of many unforgettable experiences I had while leading tours in the Soviet Union during the Cold War. In future videos, I'll share more stories about the people I met, the places I visited, and what it was really like to travel behind the Iron Curtain. If you enjoy first-hand travel stories from around the world, I'd love to have you subscribe. After more than 40 years leading tours, I still have many more stories to share. Until next time, thanks for traveling with me.